Pleased to meet you.
It's Neil, right?
Yeah, what's your name?
Ian.
Fair enough.
So how come you were late? Did you go to the same model? What's sustainable?
Yeah. No, I didn't. Well, I have been there recently, but not today, no.
It's just a bag you brought up. Maybe you'd gone to the
Oh,
gift
yeah.
shop.
Yeah, it's just to prove I haven't asked you.
Oh, right, yeah. Like a badge.
Yeah, something like that.
I do that with books. Make sure it was a clever book and a pop book.
Hmm.
So if there's something I want to impress.
Well, like holding it or something.
No, not that. It was like a clever book.
And a stupid book. But surely that would only work if someone stole your bag and looked in it to see what was in it, or kind of like rifled through your stuff.
No, I just find a way around them, I suppose. Just get them out. Don't read them. No, I don't read them. I do read them sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, I do have a lot of books that I haven't really got through, so.
Yeah, of course, everyone who reads does. List like 300 books or something that I need to read.
I don't know if I've got a list now.
Well, it's in my head. I do have a list. Yeah. It's in my head as well. What's Jamie? No, we're not supposed to refer to Jamie yet.
It doesn't exist.
No.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't anyway.
I think we should. I don't understand that. I think. Oh, he's left the room now.
You chased him away. It's a bit of a cry.
Yeah. I think we should spend the whole time talking about Jamie.
Yeah, how much he loves bomb snacks.
Dirty whore. Yeah.
I think this is going to get really tiring.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying. We should do it slightly more slowly. So, because our muscles will get exhausted by the end of an hour. Yeah. So,
So it sounded quite easy when you said, do you want to just shake hands for an hour? I thought, yeah, that would be easy.
yeah.
But standing still for an hour, I don't know if I can handle that.
It's true. Is he still selling his body for money?
Yeah, he loves it. Only for cock, man. He likes to pretend he likes. He doesn't like cock,
Well, what do you think of this piece then?
I don't know. I don't like experiencing it very much.
Yeah. I think we should try and communicate what it feels like to the audience, to the members, to be part of this.
I don't know, I keep forgetting I'm shaking hands.
That's true, yeah. But then I'm obviously drunk, so probably would. Yeah, it's true.
I don't usually realise how intimate our handshake is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Someone really stands close to anyone.
That's really? Well, I don't know. I think I've got shaking hands like I do.
I don't know, for me handshake's just like a throwaway thing. I do it really quickly and then off I go.
That's true, yeah. For sure. If you were kind of like this, you feel that I don't want to really smell something.
No, it's just kind of go, and then off.
I suppose so, yeah. I think we should slow. Or is it better to do it fast? I don't know.
I don't know, well, I'm sure we could measure it, right? Do one man does the shaking for 5 minutes.
That's true, yeah. That would
Then
be
the other man does shaking.
That'd be easier.
Okay, who wants the first 5 minutes?
I don't mind doing it. Here we go. Yeah. It does cause you to think about what a handshake is. It seems like a very odd gesture or a strange movement once you start thinking about it.
It's also getting slightly stranger.
Yeah.
It's a bit like waggling a bit of dead meat.
Well, for the person who's becoming the more dominant shaker of the hand, that's true.
All those self-help books, they always go on about how important a handshake is, and how it has to be firm and manly,
That's
and
true,
take control
yeah.
of the situation.
But then they're mostly a load of shit. My brother has lots of self-help books. He's bought more or less all of them, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, on everything.
Pretty well, yeah.
They're
Just most on like the mind and how to improve.
Positive attitudes.
Yeah, that kind of thing. And he's trying to kind of come up with the meta kind of self-help book, the stuff like that has everything, like what's in a self-help book and how it works.
Oh, I thought you meant like a help self-help book that helped you choose self-help books.
It is kind of like that, yeah. It's like what's in a good self-help book? What are the main, what's essential to self-help?
I don't know, you say it's rubbish, but I bought this book, Alan Carr's Easy Way to Stop Smoking, because my mate, who'd been smoking since he was like 20 or something, he's 30 now, read it and gave up smoking because you're just supposed to read it and it's just like a sustained dialogue about all the bad points about smoking.
Yeah.
And you smoke all the way through it, and then when you reach the final chapter, you throw away your fags. And he hasn't smoked for a year and a half now. And he's lent it to other people and had quite good success. But I bought it, I haven't read it yet. I don't really know why I haven't read it.
Yeah, resistance maybe.
Yeah. I'm really worried that I'll stop smoking. But why? I don't want to smoke. It's strange.
Yeah, that's quite strange.
Maybe
I'm not saying it can't work for some things, yeah, obviously. If you if you have a specific, difficulty or something that you need help with, I suppose it can be helpful, but for the most part, it's just a way of making money, like writing a load of obvious kind of stuff.
I see quite a lot of work as well.
Huh?
So I volunteer in a workshop, and I do the self-help section.
Really?
For some reason, because I told the guy I did philosophy, he goes, oh right, philosophy, you can do the academic section, the religious section, sociology, everything. And I'm like, oh. Self-help, mind, body, spirit.
God knows.
I just put alien stuff up there, I think. I don't know, that's what it's supposed to be.
Aliens, well, like UFOs and
and mysteries.
Pyramids and things like
that.
that.
And how lizards control the
Oh
world.
yeah, it's like what's his name? Dave Bellick.
Yeah, that's it. We've got like 3 of his books. They're like really thick.
He's trying to no, he's just trying to get a chat.
He's going to go for a fag.
Yeah, you should learn that well. I'm becoming more aware of the bones in your hand now. It's quite really going to feel.
I have a quite bony hands now, anyway. And quite dry as well.
I think they'll change.
That's horrible.
Is that clock actually moving, isn't it? The minute hand seems to be in the same place.
So how old are you?
I'm 23.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah. Because I'm a wee man.
Could be.
How long's this course?
How long?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be a year. I guess we're ending in June or something.
We're going to do summer.
Have fun, I think. Pretty much. Yeah. Fun, it is. But, yeah, it's a good question. Summer, I was supposed to have fun last summer, but it didn't seem to materialise quite somehow.
I just ended up working through my summer.
That's something good. No, why do you work? What's the point of working?
For drink, in fact.
I suppose that's the kind of basis on which most people judge for their how much.
Need my things around me.
Yeah.
Crutches.
I don't think that's necessary though, really. I think it's all in the mind, isn't it?
I certainly hope so.
You can do that without drinking tobacco and all that stuff.
Yeah, I think I could probably do it, but I don't think I can do it without any books.
Yeah, make music. That's different, I would say. So, I don't know. It's different. It has a kind of content. Whereas, drink and drugs, it's just kind of mindless, something like that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, like, fags are quite embodied when you smoke. You're not thinking of anything else except just smoking.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you, I suppose.
Really? You think of smoking?
I always think about addictions as like severely embodied activities, and that's why if you're addicted to something, you're just when you're like, say when you're gambling, you're just gambling, there's nothing else going on. And so it's the same way, like when you're reading a good book, all you're doing is reading, and there's nothing else. Like Aristotle reckons that's enjoyment, it's unimpeded activity, like no distraction, just doing what you're doing. Like Heidegger kind of says a similar thing about making barrels and stuff.
Making what?
Like he's got this whole passage about making barrels, like
barrels.
wine
Oh
barrels,
yeah.
and how the virtue of
That's kind of like losing the self, isn't it? Like self-annihilation or self.
Yeah. Yeah, he talks about losing yourself and then projecting yourself into the future with your projects and like work.
Yeah.
So I was thinking maybe addictions, that's why because they're so easy to become just things that you do and not think about anything else.
Yeah,
that's such a powerful hold. Well, like anything you can get addicted to.
Yeah. But then there's a difference between the kind of habitual thing and the kind of, like a physiological reaction, like you need tobacco, you need heroin.
Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking. And I always took that line, but someone said to me that say you're addicted to like fatty foods or something, they're giving rise, stimulating certain neurochemical transmitters, and you can get addicted to
There are no
things
clear
and
lines. I
sugar.
mean, obviously, coffee is a drug as well as, in that sense, almost any chemical that you apply could be taken as a drug.
Well, then, like gambling, there's no drug involved, but
there's
still the adrenaline, peaks and troughs of the
Yeah.
adrenaline and stuff.
It's true. Well, yeah, exactly. There are drugs in the body that can be used as well as stuff. I think we should slow down with this shit.
I think we're getting a bit.
Yeah, let's see where we want to go, but we have to be here for another, 50 minutes. Yeah.
Look at that one, and it looks like less for the small hands.
Yeah, that's true. I need a drink though.
I've got an orange.
Yeah,
I don't know how that would work out though, feeling with my hand. It's not
let
me
me try. I think that's an interesting challenge.
Oh, my bag's over there.
Well, let's see. The camera's there, so we could go towards it, and we wouldn't leave the shot.
I think Jamie would get cross.
Throw over there's an orange in Ian's bag. Which I'm really likely to throw it over. Well, because I'm going to eat it. I don't know which orange yet.
Oh, good cat.
Thank you. It's difficult. I've cut my fingernails. So, I don't have much. No.
You just kind of squeeze it in.
Yeah, but Jamie would love that. What? You want me to kiss Ian with him? What?
Cooperative feeling.
Oh, I see. Is that what you're saying?
I got some.
It's good. It's quite hard. Well, I feel for disabled people who only have one hand. Yeah, cheers.
Refreshing.
Nice.
I wish you had a sticky hand, I was going to show you now.
Just keep eating oranges, so just try.
Anyway.
Sorry, your oranges though, I don't want.
No, I've got those.
Oh,
I just, before I go out, I was sort of fruit.
that's a good plan, yeah.
In case I get bored.
So, you're 25?
24.
Oh.
24. I'll be 25 this year though. You didn't like the sound of that though.
No, not at all, no.
It's kind of snuck up on me.
Yeah, I'd say so. 23 on me as well.
23 was pretty rubbish time for me because it's like you're so far away from 21 and you're not near 25.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
you're kind of limbo.
I'm not too sure about 27, that's the one I'm going to do. Because so many people have died, so like Jimi Hendrix and Kurt Cobain, they always just do something at 27.
Kill yourself.
Yeah, that kind of thing, or have some major change, something happen.
Wank yourself to death.
Something like that. So that's what I'm always kind of looking towards and thinking about.
I don't know, I always think about 30.
Yeah, I guess so. That seems like too far away from me. You're halfway there.
Thanks for that, yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Well, I don't know, 30 was always the magic marker. That was when I said, alright, I'm not going to go up till I'm 30. Everything will be alright till then.
Yeah.
I'll just kind of do stuff, not really plan
I
stuff.
don't want to grow up. No,
I certainly hope that doesn't happen. Or I could just go out and buy a jumper and just pretend.
Oh yeah, maybe that's something.
Dress up. Dress up like a grown up.
Yeah.
Do you want to rest that?
Yeah, okay. Almost.
Just put it in drawers and stuff.
You'd be happy to.
Well, it's cool. No, I'm quite cool.
That's true.
Yeah. Have you ever had like long hair? Really long hair?
Not really long, no. It doesn't seem to grow beyond like my neck.
I was going to say, do you think when we stop shaking hands, we're going to get that feeling when you cut your hair, and you get that tingly feeling from where all the weight's gone? Or like when you're in a car, looking out the window for ages, and you stop and everything's going whoosh.
Yeah, I think so. I think we'll yeah, there'll be
Oh,
some
I
kind
feel
of...
like it's still going.
Yeah.
It's only hip, so.
What are you looking for?
Yeah, that and a pint.
So who's your favourite philosopher?
Aristotle's the most influential for me. Had the strongest influence. But then any kind of Aristotelian flavoured philosopher as well.
What would be Aristotelian flavoured?
Well, like one's interested in biological explanations of ethics, or biosocial explanations of ethics, or accounts.
So kind of more materialist, or not so much...
More physicalist. That which is, yeah. More, less dual, like the rejection of dualism outright, but more saying that material is really that all that exists. There are other things like functions that aren't the same as physical things, but nonetheless are useful for explaining certain physical processes.
What do you mean by functions?
Well, like say the mind. Like that's where dualism usually jumps in, because it's so tempting to think of the mind as a different place. Like Descartes or Plato kind of has a similar dualism.
Yeah.
Like Descartes thinks there's spirited stuff and physical stuff. Spirited stuff, mind stuff is stuff that thinks.
Who thinks that's right?
Descartes.
Descartes.
Yeah. And then physical stuff is, or substance.
Extension.
Is that extent, yeah. And you know, the third stuff is God stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, but that's really my specialism is philosophy of mind anyway, so that's why I get a bit obsessed. And functions are like ways of explaining, ways of cutting up attributes of physical objects, so that it's useful.
Useful?
Yeah, useful for explaining attributes.
Oh.
So like, say there's an area that if you lesion, if you lesion, you lose certain abilities to form sentences.
In the brain,
yeah. Then you explain the function, you explain that as a specialised area that is involved in the function of forming sentences. But forming sentences isn't in that bit of the brain. That bit of the brain isn't forming sentences. It's responsible for the higher level attribute of being able to form sentences.
In what sense is it not responsible for forming sentences?
No, it is responsible, but it's not. That part of the brain isn't forming sentences in itself.
Okay.
It's forming sentences is a different part of it. Yeah. It just causes them.
Yeah. There's an interesting article in the New Scientist recently about they found that chimps are able to think metacognitively. They're able to give an "I don't know" response. So presented with a test and they don't know the answer, they're able to say "I don't know," and they're able to transfer that ability to other tests, kind of intuitively. And people are saying, people are saying that proves that thinking isn't kind of based on language, or it doesn't rely on language. It's possible to think outside of language, because presumably there are kind of acoustic,
well, yeah, no, there's all sorts of intelligent attributes you can get without language use. And there are some that, I don't know, I'm always really tempted to just think, thinking in words is just something you can't do without language. Like thinking in
words.
Like the way we think, it requires a lot of training and a lot of artificial training.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, maybe, but then Chomsky, he's the linguist, he said that there's a lot of kind of inbuilt predisposition towards particular types of formations of language.
Yeah.
That people can intuitively kind of construct sentences in certain ways, and other ways that it's not possible. It's kind of the mind rules it out.
Yeah, well, that implies like a generative, the general language acquisition device, like a generative grammar.
Yeah.
Perhaps. But I don't know, I always find it inconclusive. I mean, his work was all based on the ability to universalise certain grammar rules from limited instances, and the argument was that no matter how many times, no matter how many times you learn a rule, when you were shown a rule, grasping the rule is a different ability, and they say you must have some kind of innate disposition to go for a certain generative grammar. Like some kind of maybe hardwired. But I was thinking more abstract thought. Like people are often tempted to think that language and thought are interlinked because they always do philosophy, and philosophy is they're all academically inculcated into this world of thought, where it's a really artificial process, and it's not really something that comes naturally. That's why you do all the years of training. And
what do you mean? Thought doesn't come naturally?
Well, like the kind of abstract thought that requires abstract argument, the kind of formal thought. That's why we're educated from such an early age. In formal structure like repetition, and there's quite a lot of knockback if you don't form arguments well, or like you don't express yourself well. It's quite selected against, and that's what the education system is about. So in a way, it's like learning the rules of thought. It's a lot like learning like the rules of addition or something.
Possibly. Well, I haven't really learned the rules of addition very effectively, so
Well, you can do it in tens. Or fives. Or two.
Maybe.
Well, the reason people are so tempted to think the language of thought are so interlinked is because when they're thinking about thinking, they're thinking about the kind of thinking they're doing when they're thinking about thinking. Do you see what I mean? But like, say you're writing an article about language and thought. Things you're going to be reflecting on is the thought process you're going through when you're doing that, which is a highly artificial kind of thought process. It's really like a highly ingrained, highly trained artificial way of thinking.
Thinking about thinking is...
Say you're contemplating about your article, you can write it, and you think, okay, what's thinking like? Well, I'm thinking now. This is the way I think, so this must be what thought is. So the instances you immediately grasp is the kind of thoughts you're going through when you're preparing for an academic article.
Rather than specific to preparing for an academic article rather than being
generalised, Like say, when lots of people get. I got here before I had to do any real artificial thinking at all. Until I had a conversation with Jamie about a book, and then I kind of kicked in.
Well, what do you
mean by
this phrase artificial thinking? What do you mean by that?
I just mean the highly formal academic kind of training, where you listen to propositions and you see if they're consistent, and then you propose, or you show each other something, and you can see the relevance of what they're saying. I know, I'm getting all linked up into the motion, and so I usually wave my hands back when I'm talking.
I don't know, I'm not so convinced that there's just this kind of clear division between an artificial kind of an academic way of looking at things and a kind of more intuitive or natural.
Well, like the ability to solve a problem, a physical embodied problem, like getting something that's out of your reach, that requires thought. But not the same kind of thought that is required when you're required to rebut an argument or an accusation. Like if someone says, where were you that night, did you kill that man? You have to go, what would exclude me from having killed that man?
You could say, what would prevent me from reaching that object?
You can use that kind of technique, but like lots of animals that don't have language, you can do it.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you reflect on like instances where you've done like those kind of embodied tasks, you don't sit back and think, how am I going to do this? You kind of have, like doing a jigsaw. You think, turn all the pieces around in your head. You just kind of turn them all around and work.
Maybe. I don't know. I think I got 10. I'm not sure. No, I haven't done jigsaw. So. For a long time. So.
Well, you use like something of rules, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, started talking to me about philosophy mind. Because I'll just go on.
No, that's
fine.
I'm very interested in it, so it's perfectly fine. It's interesting. It's more interesting than more or less anything else, isn't it, that people talk about. I mean, as far as the day-to-day stuff.
Sex is quite interesting.
Well, that's
and
true.
money for free.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Business for me.
I don't think that's interesting to talk about, so just to actually experience.
No, actually, you're quite right.
Whereas it's kind of, you can't really experience the philosophy of mind except like this, with any dialogue.
No. I'm getting an ache up here.
Really? Yeah. I've got no aches so far. I'm actually quite impressed. Must be, I don't know, must have done the right amount of preparatory work. Stretching.
Checking out the guns.
Maybe it has to do with your posture. You should try to think about your posture.
I'm terrible with my posture, and I've got cramp in my left foot now.
Cramp? No, you should. See, I've been doing these Chinese kind of exercises recently, well, for about 6 months, and it's really good. And it kind of changes your mental state as well in an interesting way.
Is it like an embodied activity?
Well, what do you mean by that?
When you're not doing anything else with it.
Yeah, very much so, I suppose, yeah, it's true. Well, you might get drift, but that's
what kind of exercises are there? Like stretching?
Just well, there are stretching exercises first, and then there's the focus of it. It's a kind of standing exercise where you just stand still, and that's about it. And then your postural muscles take over from your the muscles concerned with movement.
Oh, right.
You kind of build them up. You can never feel them. They're kind of they're not in conscious control. But if you try and relax all of the muscles concerned with movement, then they take over naturally. They become stronger, and so your posture.
Improves.
Yeah.
Do you do it in the morning, or
yeah, in the morning usually, yeah. If I forget, no, I have been really bad at it recently. I've kind of been really not doing much, kind of neglecting.
Do you feel less like inclined to dance about when you're sitting still and stuff? Quite good at being still after doing this?
I don't know actually, no, it gives you quite a lot of energy. It makes you feel really kind of, it gets your blood pumping somehow, in a strange, it sounds counterintuitive, but because it's actually quite demanding, like you start sweating and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, from standing still. You lift your arms up like this, the other one like this. And yeah, you start sweating, like the first time I did it, I was shaking and sweating, and it was kind of really difficult. And now I can go for like 20 minutes without much difference.
Do you think it improves your body mass index?
That's building muscle.
That's your rest rate of burning calories, isn't it? When you're not doing anything.
Yeah. If you keep your mind, keep your posture in mind, if you keep focusing on it, then yeah, I'm sure because it's engaging muscles. So what I like, just like relax. I think so.
No, my posture is terrible. I just get slouched all the time. I think it's because I'm just tired all the time now.
Yeah, well, no, I used to be really similar. I used to have terrible posture. Really bad, like, I've got back problems and everything, so I was like slouching so much and not sitting much.
For your grungy face.
Yeah, totally, actually. Yeah.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
That's cool. Dedication, man.
Yeah. But, yeah, but I feel much better now somehow. Standing and so forth. Sitting.
They sound like the kind of exercise I could probably do as well.
Yeah, well they're not demanding in the sense of being, you don't go really out of breath or anything like that. It's just kind of just focus on standing still, basically, and keeping a constant position. And there are these kind of visualizations that you can use as well to help.
Is there any like kind of energy flow kind of governs?
There is, yeah, but I don't really specifically believe in it. But I find if I just don't specifically not believe in it for the duration of doing exercises. It seems to, I think, maybe there's some kind of placebo effect there or whatever, I don't know, but it's like it works. If you think, like, through breathing exercises as well, you know what you're doing, yeah, it's really good. It works. It has a positive effect,
Right.
Yeah, it's actually not as demanding as it thought it would be.
Yeah. Isn't it? I'm starting to get stomach pain up here.
Really? Stomach pain? Oh,
Right.
well, you can start. I can take out shaking.
Yeah, no, that's bad. Sorry.
Really?
That's because I always use my computer to have some kind of cold time.
That's bad. I actually don't have any pain at all.
Well, you're probably a healthy young man. I'm just kind of lazy.
I wouldn't have thought so.
Lazy little man.
That not pain. Any much exercise really apart from that. Just proper exercise.
Or because you suffer.
Okay.
Suffer!
You do suffer a bit, but it's just standing still.
Maybe this is not paying someone for it. Doesn't feel like exercise.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or drive into the gym and exercise and things.
Yeah. I'm going to try leaning against the wall. Yeah, that's nice. It takes weight off one of my feet. Why are you interested in philosophy of mind? What is it?
I got interested in it via Wittgenstein, philosophical investigations.
Alright, I've never read it.
And it's the best one. This is so much fun. It's full of these mad number phrases, and you just you read them, and because it's posthumous anyway. And there's all these sections, and compared to the Traxonosis, which is all so tightly done and numbered and everything, philosophical investigations is like reading the Quran, like all these little poetic verses. Well, not poetic, but they are quite nice little things. And then when you actually make a bit of sense of it, you get this tremendous sense of achievement. And you feel like you finally got somewhere with something. And that got me interested into it, and that kind of tided me over doing all the bits and bobs that led me into specialising in my enthusiasm for Wittgensteinian approach to understanding mind and language and that kind of stuff. It just kind of happened really though. You just get inspired and then you get fascinated and then you just start talking about it and then I took 6 months off. No, I miss it. I thought I'd do a real job and it's rubbish. Maybe speak to more all day.
Yeah, real jobs are too much. Yeah, I find philosophy of mind fascinating because I have a kind of disorder, a disorder of the mind that means I don't make emotional attachments to things very easily, like external things, or even myself. It's kind of a weird disorder, and so I became fascinated in how what's going on, trying to understand it philosophically. Before I even discovered that it was a medical condition, I thought it was some kind of amazing gift that I had, or a terrible gift, curse. And I thought I was the only person who felt like that in a while. So I tried to read up on philosophical theory related to mind and
well, it's a good reason, isn't it? I think the mind is sufficient, I reckon. But
that's true, absolutely,
But how does this manifest itself? Does you find it difficult to look after things, or support things, like objects around you?
I find objects really impressive sometimes.
Really?
But overwhelming. Just well, I think Sartre wrote that quite well in Nausea, which about objects being always kind of oppressively kind of present. They just are. They kind of, and it's all contingent. There's no kind of it's like I'm not personally responsible for putting that clock there, and I didn't design any of it. I'm not really I don't have an emotional connection to it, but it's there. It's just presenting itself to me constantly. All of these parts that
the world presents itself to you in some way.
And then it's an escape, and it's kind of
Do you think it mocks you with its existential like, lack of dependence? Or? It's only because there's that kind of flavour in existentialism, like things that are ontologically independent of you. Just kind of.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say mocking. That's a bit too kind of almost, it's like almost anthropomorphic, but it's kind of, it's just a bit obscene. It's all obscene. It's kind of staring you in the face. It's quite hard to describe, actually.
No, I imagine.
But yeah, it's just.
Does that mean you're very particular about the kind of objects, like the kind of objects you surround yourself with?
That would make sense, but mostly I'm surrounded by whatever is there, whatever has been given to me. But yeah, but I find that just means I find it all the more disturbing. Like over the weekend, I was trying to tidy up my flat, and I found it so difficult because of all of these objects. I couldn't come to grips with them or work out what I was supposed to do with them. I felt like I wanted to throw them all away. I didn't really want any of them, but on the other hand, I thought I'll probably have a use for them at some point, so I'm forced to keep them.
Like your cocoa and that.
Yeah, well, yeah, everything. Really, yeah. Objects can be so burdensome, but just instead of serving us, we come to serve them.
Oh yeah. See, it sounds quite a rational attitude.
It's kind of like it's extremely rational in a way. It's like it's because there isn't an emotional feeling of being passive, having a kind of constant connection or interaction with things. I'm rationalizing it. I'm always kind of just looking at things in a completely rational way, trying to work it out as opposed to having feelings about something like that. Which is not to say that I don't have feelings, but
yeah, no.
But they just.
I mean, do you say if you don't want to talk about it?
No, well, I brought it up.
Oh no, because I was just wondering, do you find it difficult to like treat objects as extensions of yourself, like say riding a bike or something?
I don't find it difficult to ride a bike. I don't find it difficult to ride a bike itself. I mean, that's it's part of the brain that's concerned with riding a bike. I think it's quite what's it called performative. I think the performative thinking. I think that's quite detached from a lot of you can perform actions even if you have the brain in some ways, or if you don't have them. So I can perform actions, but I don't have. Often it feels quite automatic, like I could not be there at all, and the action would continue. It's like I don't have a connection to the action. It's a sense of disconnection. Yeah, it's a really interesting thought actually, but I'd rather not be
Maybe you get a Switch installed. Is that how it works, right?
That would be so great, yeah.
For your 5 years of philosophy of mind, maybe you get a Switch installed.
No, it's true. Like I've read like internet forums and stuff. There are, and people say that like it would be if you had a Switch, would you turn it off? Because in a way it's really unusual. It's like you know that most people don't feel like this. It's an unusual way of looking at the world. But most people would definitely want to get rid of that. It's kind of disturbing. It would be good though.
Is there any, that's what I was going to say, is there any research into physiological basis or
no, I think research is ongoing, it's quite under-researched.
So it sounds like quite a high level,
quite
far away from a high level disorder.
Yeah, I think, I take part in a kind of, just an internet kind of survey, but it was, for some, what's it called, Sinai Institute in New York, some kind of psychiatric institute, and that was more or less one of the first kind of large-scale studies that have been done. And there isn't much, but so basically no one knows whether it's psychological or physiological, how exactly what the balance causes. How it is. It comes about.
So just
What?
How far away high level? Because that's like such a high level thing, and you think, how could that possibly be related to any mere physiological process?
Of course, but then everything is, isn't it? It's the way we are in the body.
Yeah, sometimes I think there's like an explanatory gap that you just can't grasp between.
Yeah, I think that's what philosophy is all about, isn't it? Trying to look at yeah. That.
Because that's the hard problem from my position. Because it does look like you can explain stuff chemically, or physiologically, or physically, and you can explain stuff functionally. So like some psychological explanations are all functional. So they say, okay, you've got this mechanism that does this, and that's just a thing that they've made up for doing something. And then they say that bit doesn't work, so this bit isn't doing that thing. And so they try and explain it as a functional machine. And then, you know, the Holy Grail is to tie them to physiological processes. So like, memory that you can tie to like the strength of if a neuron fires, a group of neurons fire, they're more likely to fire again. And apparently he needs like a little connectionist equation thing to calculate and to model memory and the acquisition of habitual actions. Which is a nice little way of tying like a high level thing like memory to physiological process. Then you think like, okay, memory association. You think, okay, there can't be because you have to refrain from saying stuff like, there's a bit in your brain that means tree. Because that's just not how it works at all.
The brain's pretty complex sort of thing.
Yeah. But then how legitimate is it to say? Because then it looks like there isn't a bit for memory, although a bit might be very important for memory. But it looks like memory is a distributed ability throughout physical things. So like a high level thing like dissociative disorder. And that could be a complex mix of neurotransmitters and
like association.
And or like regions that happen not to transmit as well, or anything like that. It could be anything.
Well, I mean, it's looked at by a lot of people in professionals as kind of linked to anxiety disorders, like extreme levels of anxiety. The brain tends to kind of try and escape, like compensate for it. It's like almost like a fight or flight kind of response, but without a physical flight. It's kind of almost a mental flight, kind of an escape mechanism to damage, extreme levels of damage. And then it's often linked to kind of like drug use as well. Like some people, it's triggered by drug use. It seems to be specifically triggered by, which wasn't the case for me, but.
What, like psychoactive drugs or
like cannabis or some maybe LSD and things like that.
So that would suggest more that there's neurochemical, something like neurochemical.
Yeah, but then on the other hand, there are other people who've never touched any drugs. It's just come on for no apparent.
I just want to go and do some philosophy again now. I haven't had a serious discussion about minds in 6 months.
Really?
Since I got my degree. And I just thought, I'm not going to think about philosophy for a year and see if I want to go back to it. And so I just kind of avoided conversations about philosophy. I couldn't really avoid this one.
I'm sorry to voice that point.
No, it's kind of reminded me. Because it's quite empty without, because it's always just been, I thought, no matter what's going on, I can always just go and do some philosophy. And everything is alright, because I'm just, because I'm doing something that's important to me.
Yeah, that's true.
Religion.
Yeah. What, philosophy?
Yeah, like a religious crutch.
Maybe. Well, it's been said that philosophy is kind of like therapy. It's just kind of.
Wittgenstein.
Yeah. No, he said.
Yeah. So we're all afflicted with a special kind of mental disorder that makes us obsessed with little problems. And we've got to try and massage away the problems using philosophical therapy. And that's his later approach. Interesting you brought that up. That's why I loved him so much.
Really?
Because like after you do it, you start taking it really seriously, and then somebody says that, and you think, Well, hang on.
Yeah.
Oh, it is a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah, well, he was an interesting kind of philosopher. He didn't know. It's quite dismissive of philosophy, really. He was a philosopher.
Oh, yeah, because he quit. So they've done it. Fixed it all. Solved it. That's great, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to say. He's always in the stone in that picture. It's that famous one.
Yeah, you can do anything if that's for us. You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, what kind of work are you doing then?
Well,
I'm going to call it.
I mean, artwork.
Yeah.
Mostly reading.
Best kind.
Yeah, I'm finding it difficult to attach that to any kind of physical, art-based kind of embodiment. Things are going through my head. But, I don't know, I'm not too worried. It's probably just a sign of
Yeah, but it might just happen.
Yeah, it usually does.
You just pour it in and stuff comes out occasionally.
Yeah. I just got your t-shirt, by the way. It was kind of asking me out there, and I didn't.
It's my oldest favourite t-shirt. It's for when I'm feeling a bit nervous about something I'm wearing.
Really? Oh, that's good. Crutches, into crutches.
Well, I think if I was wearing, like, it's nice to not have to worry about anything you've got with you if you're going to, in this high stress situation.
That's true.
And so if there's everything that I'm comfortable in, I don't have to worry about anything like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's just,
Yeah. We're supposed to keep looking into the camera, we have to.
He just said, he didn't say anything, did he? He just said, shake hands.
Yeah, I
Don't
think
talk to me.
Yeah.
Nearly done.
Yeah.
For me?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
That's what you always wanted.
Yeah, I'll save that for later. Tasty treat. So what kind of books are you reading?
Things like Art and Theory, 1900s, 2000.
Really?
Yeah, that's actually a really good
They're
one.
anthologies.
Yeah, they were kind of like artists' manifestos and writers who influence artists, sociologists, philosophers,
That does sound fun.
It is, yeah, it's a good book. And you know, just kind of books about various artists and things like that.
Yeah. What would you do if that was someone's like really personal email?
Yeah, I'd be even more interested.
Really? Having sex with a student? That's outrageous.
I'm getting a strange desire to climb on the furniture.
Yeah, throw your feces around.
Well,
Maybe we can have another orange. If Jamie comes back.
yeah, well, I think we can get one anyway, can't we?
Yeah, it might ruin everything.
I don't
You're
know.
ashamed to show this one.
Do I
Can we have another
orange?
orange?
What books are you reading?
Mixed.
Memphis. Thank you. It's tricky.
At least the women sound nice.
Yeah.
That's quite fun.
This is going to be a complete tip, but it's only.
Hey, that's up, baby. These oranges are bastards to peel, right?
Yeah.
They're juicing oranges, but they're so nice for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're well worth a house.
Tasty.
Even if you're just gonna put your face in it and go, ah, I'm so happy.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's a nice orange. I don't like nasty cheap oranges. They don't taste of anything. It's just foul. What's the point?
Yeah, and like the little ones are easy to peel. It's so hit and miss.
Yeah, that's true. It's only just water.
So one of the most fun I ever had was a watermelon. Just cutting it open. I tried to make a watermelon, it didn't work out. So I had this watermelon. I don't really like watermelon.
That's
So I just thought.
done a grapefruit.
I ate it like that.
Yeah.
It was the most fun I've ever had with a piece of fruit. It's just like, it's really cold and like really nice.
Watermelon's nice.
Very watery though. They should call it watery melon.
Yeah, but the sweet bit in the middle, that's the nice bit in the middle.
Was it nice in there?
Yeah, that's all like sweeter.
Oh yeah, yes, it gets better, doesn't it?
Yeah, you don't need to add sugar in the middle. It's all it's just all sweet.
Do you want some more now?
Yeah. Or just to rip off of it all the time and that might be easier.
Oh, let's just get one.
I think Jamie's going to use the bits of us ripping oranges apart.
Oh, but these are the most fun. Those are not that one's a bit easier to get into.
That's alright.
I think the other thing I really like about eating fruit all the time is you just feel really primate-like.
Yeah, I feel so.
Because there's really no way of eating fruit
nice
without feeling like a monkey. Yeah. Well, high rate, wasn't it? Especially when you're eating like this. So. Keep the skin on the thing.
This is true. Well, that's good. And we are, after all, high rapes, I think.
Reminds me of my ancestry. General disposition towards fruit eating. I was thinking as well, my perfect diet would probably be mangoes and fish.
Yeah.
Or fruit and fish. Just that.
Yeah. Definitely. Well, move to some Pacific island.
Maybe some seeds occasionally. For roughage.
Yeah, no, that sounds pretty nice to me. I don't eat meat, so.
Oh, do you not?
I eat fish, but not red.
Like pescatarian.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Do you eat chicken?
No, only fish. Well, it's not a good idea really, because I'm not that fond of seafood really. I just like, cod and salmon and all that kind of thing, but I don't really like the rest of it. All the mussel and all that.
Well, you don't like
shrimp.
How long have you been?
I don't know, probably about a year or something, or slightly less than a year.
How's your energy levels?
Well, fine, I think. I don't think it really made much difference. As long as you, eat fruits and fish and yeah, it's perfectly possible to compensate everything. Things and meat and things.
Well, I went vegetarian for a year when I first went to uni in first year.
Yeah.
Purely because we didn't have a fridge. Well, we did have a fridge, but it was like just got nicked all the time. So I just ended up eating loads of pasta, but
No, that's not good.
yeah, I was just eating carbs all the time, and that was pretty much and lots of fruit. But it was all just carbs, so getting refined carbs and then sugary.
Yeah, well, I get some laps and stuff, every now and then, and I start to feel, if I just eat pasta, I feel really lethargic.
Or occasional bit of tuna fish thing.
Well, yeah, pasta and tuna.
Yeah.
Like it's boring.
But I just got tired all the time. I was just eating all the time. I was just tired all the time.
Yeah.
But I think I might go back to it because I'm gone a bit off meat anyway. I never really was into meat.
Yeah, well, same with me.
But like, because I started cooking at work and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I've just really gone off food in general.
Yeah.
But especially the meat variety.
Yeah.
Why did you go vegetarian?
Well, I never really agreed with it. I mean, the essence of it is that I think it was hypocritical because I couldn't have stand it to watch to see an animal, being killed in that spot, and then I wouldn't have been able to eat it. And so I thought, if I'm not willing to, do it, if I can't do it essentially, if I can't kill this animal, I don't think I should eat it. Whereas I could kill a fish.
There's something, something a bit hypocritical. That's not good.
Yeah,
Don't kill the pig.
But
Canadian bacon.
exactly, I find that kind of disgusting, so I just thought, well, let's have that. And then what precipitated it was actually some anarcho-punk from the 70s that was all about these kind of, vegetarians, crazy people, anarchists. And then these songs are they have really good lyrics, although you can't actually hear the lyrics. If you read them, they're kind of, they're really kind of, sort of insightful kind of, criticisms of, meaty thing and all that kind of thing. So that kind of brought it to my attention. Yeah, well, that's right. So, yeah. So I just decided to give it up. And I haven't regretted it at all, really.
Well, why would you? Exactly. Oh, I wish I still ate meat, but I just can't. What? It's not like coming into a room and making a mess of it.
Exactly. Well, I think we should have gone a bit further, personally. I'm an art student, I should be some kind of...
Putting crap on the walls.
Yeah. There's a process, it's factory farming, abattoirs.
You should have gutted me. There's a process.
Well, I was tempted to do it, but...
What, at all points or during? So close.
11:59, that's when I started. Yes!
Yeah.
Very slow. Well, I think this is a comment, it's absurdity, isn't it? It's like, it's absurd. This is the human condition.
I don't think this has really made me think a lot more seriously about handshake.
About what?
Shaking hands.
Shaking hands.
I never took them really very seriously before.
Yeah.
I think they have quite a power.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I mean, like if you held a handshake for like a couple of seconds longer.
Yeah, maybe that's more would happen. Maybe you'd feel more of a connection with someone.
You just kind of force eye contact as well.
Yeah, that's true.
I usually do.
Yeah. But what does it mean? Is it art? No, it's not
sunny.
art. No, I don't think so. It's not art.
It's a big pile of poo.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of right. Well, that's fun.
I know what it is. It's like 2 days shaking hands for now, and then someone recording it.
Yes.
Whether it's something else.
Maybe.
It's not an orange. Although there were oranges.
Yeah. Maybe.
Right, if I get a couple times, anything else, I'm going to see Jamie.
Go for it.
All these millions that he owes me. We'll know that.
Yeah.
Exciting, isn't it?
Immensely. I still want to climb on the furniture though.
Find you what?
Climb on the furniture. I'm not entirely sure why, but...
We can do that in a minute and a half.
That's true, that's a good point.
Oh, I'm so sticky.
I could. Already. That's hot. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Getting some height. Yeah.
Is that better?
Huh?
Is that better?
Yeah, it feels good. Very liberating.
Oh, nice.
Almost gone. Yes, it's now 11:59, isn't it? I think so.
You've got like a minute to go. I know that.
Check my ripped trousers.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
You do that by yourself. Or your own way. I don't think you need any extra height.
Really? What? I'm sorry. I don't mean to make you feel
Smaller than I already am. Well, everyone else is freakishly tall as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, well, they are.
I'm the perfect size.
You should climb the furniture yourself.
Maybe I should go up there.
Yeah, okay. It's not hard.
So I'm probably fall
Yeah. Maybe.
15 seconds.
No harm in that. Let's fall over. Right now. 5, 4, 3.
What?
Yeah, wait. Here we go, here it comes. Yeah, we're falling over. Now. You can fall over.